The media today reporting that technology CEOs didn't want to be at yesterday's tech summit with headlines like this. Look at some of this. Here's one. With gritted teeth, tech royalty has returns to the White House. That's one of them. Has returned to the White House. Excuse me. That was from Quartz. And then the second one from Fortune. See the look on Tim Cook and Jeff Bezos' faces when they met with President Trump. Okay, Fortune. And then the other one, which tech, well, you saw the, but basically talking about technology CEOs not being happy about being at the White House. Then we have sound to add to that. Listen to this.
It's clear to me that a lot of the thinking being applied is exactly what's been needed for a long time.
In this short time, there has been progress already made. I actually can see the change happening already.
I'm absolutely convinced that during your administration, there's going to be a huge explosion in new opportunities. It can drive America very, very positively forward, and it's going to happen soon during your leadership.
Your administration's off to a terrific start in doing these things.
We had an absolutely tremendous day working together. Leadership, which is critical. So thank you.
So again, I showed you the headlines, and then I played you the actual sound from the CEOs. Look at how some of these tech companies did today. Most of them did end up in the red, but still, this is the top-performing sector year to date. Joining me now is Fiscal Times columnist Liz Peek. What do you make about that misrepresentation, those headlines that we were showing, versus the tech CEO saying, we're great, this is great?
More fake news. What a big surprise. Look, the liberal media is desperate to undermine any attempt that the Trump agenda makes to go, the Trump White House does to push the agenda forward. How can any American not think that this is a terrific initiative, right? We all know that the government spends $80 billion a year on tech. It's inefficient. It's outdated. By the way, President Obama started this kind of conversation with the tech industry 8 years ago, and of course he was the liberals' darling, so that was considered a really wonderful initiative. Now that Trump is trying to do it, all of a sudden it's politically insecure for all these tech CEOs. But guess what? They have a lot on the line here. That $80 billion is money that they're basically receiving.
And immigration policy and so many of the things that the president is talking about right now. I mean, but you know, he was in his element. That's what I thought was so fascinating about these headlines.
Yeah, I totally agree. And by the way, this is why voters elected Donald Trump. They want to see our government made more efficient, more cost-effective, more responsive to voters. That's what this is all about. And look, the media can't stand it. Trump could literally cure cancer, and they'd run a headline about he's putting doctors out of business.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
You know, literally, there is nothing they will give him credit for, but this was obviously a huge win. The tech CEOs liked it. The country's going to like it. They can't stand it.
Yeah, especially if you look at the inefficiencies at the IRS.